Hello everyone, I'm Nini FC, this is Blue Lions TV. Welcome to the match review of our 3-0 win over Southampton. Today I'm going to be talking about Ross Barkley and MORATA's performance. I'm going to be talking about the genius, the brilliance of Eden Hazard. I'm going to be talking about what Sarri did tactically to really help us create the spaces against Southampton. Plus I'm going to be talking about a lot more, so stay tuned. Getting straight into the match review, and this game was a debut for our new third kit. And I have to say, I'm not too sure, to be honest. I think seeing it close in detail looks better. I'm not too sure of the orange. I mean, I guess why they went for it, but I wasn't really feeling it too much. I can't lie. But getting straight into the lineup, Barkley started over Kovacic today, so makes a bit of sense. Kovacic is tired, obviously. Willian started over Pedro. Giroud obviously started over Alvaro Morata. It looks like Giroud's been tasked with performing in the league over Morata, and Sarri obviously trusts him more. But it was quite interesting to see there were no young players on the bench today, not even Christensen. And it seems that ever since Gary Cahill applied pressure in a way to the club, stating that he will be considering leaving in January, it seems like his role has become a bit more prominent in the squads. Starting with the first half, and it was really interesting tactically. And I know I'm always saying that all the time. You guys, you know I'm a geek when it comes to the tactical side of football. But the way we played today was completely different to other games where we've approached teams that do park the bus. Now, it's obvious Sarri obviously knew that Southampton will be approaching the game very defensively. So in terms of our build-up play in this game today, we focus all of our play and our passes down the flanks in those wide areas, and it makes a lot of sense. Imagine this in your head, you know, you're playing against a team that's parking the bus. They're very deep, they've got numbers back, their shape is very compact in the middle. They're really just keeping their positions, they're not really wanting to move. If you start focusing your plays in the wide areas, you force that team to have to leave their positions to try and close players down. And this is why Hazard kept constantly receiving the ball out wide. This is why Hazard and Willian kept interchanging positions out wide as well. And basically the game plan was, you know, we want to try create those openings between the lines where we can obviously get something, because over time, if you keep applying the pressure out wide, you're only going to eventually get spaces in the middle. Now, this did mean that Giroud was very isolated in this game today, and he was kind of playing more as a poacher instead of a target man. But it was a necessary evil. And in that sense, you know, as I'm saying, it was about creating those openings between the lines to play through. And of course, that's when you can kind of activate Giroud, because then he does have the options and he can play people in. And I think that it was the right decision tactically, because again, against other teams that have parked the bus, we've always kind of forced our play through the middle, and we found it really hard. For example, let's say you're Hazard, you're in the half space receiving the ball. You've got about 3 players on you. You know, if you're Ross Barkley, you're getting dispossessed. If you're other players, you're struggling to create those chances, and you're not moving these teams enough. So it was the right tactical decision by Sarri today. It's not the first time he's done that, of course. The game against Bournemouth, and I was saying in the second half, he was approaching the game like that. But it's nice to see that he's adapted and he started like this immediately from the start of the game. And throughout the first half, we were constantly applying the pressure on Southampton, and you kind of felt that we would be getting an opportunity soon. We created quite a lot of half chances without being super clinical, but you could feel that it was coming. It eventually does. That main man again, Eden Hazard, scoring again on incredible form right now. And Hazard said it himself. It's a point I've been stressing to you guys for how many months now. And I was making that comparison when Sarri was at Napoli, you know, Insigne. Insigne last season played 1,000 more extra passes compared to Eden Hazard. And I just kept telling you guys, you know, when Sarri's the manager, imagine what Hazard's going to do with 1,000 extra touches of the ball in the opposition half, where most of it's going to be. Of course, the guy's going to be doing a madness, and it's no surprise why he's prospering so much. Obviously, great play by Ross Barkley. I'm going to get into Ross Barkley later on in this match, if you guys bear with me. But again, great play to dispossess a Southampton player and play that pass into Hazard. And I think that Barkley kind of profited from the extra space in midfield, because we kept focusing the play out wide. It meant that he wasn't constantly getting pressed or closed down, and, you know, he looks more confident. And I think that when Barkley has space, the guy just performs much more confidently. Moving on to the second half, and obviously it's natural that Southampton were going to be a bit more adventurous with their play. They are at home, they want to try and get something from the game, and they were causing us problems during that, you know, maybe 5 to 7 minute spell. And what they were basically doing was focusing their attacks out wide. And, you know, Hazard and Willian weren't helping, because they weren't tracking back to help support the fullbacks. And Southampton were able to create 1-2s. They were able to create crosses from those areas as well. And, they probably had an opportunity to probably get a goal from this game. They were quite poor with some of their chances they did have. But they did show us that, we can't go to sleep just yet. We need to keep this intensity and maintain our game. But obviously, there was a benefit to Southampton playing like this. And by them attacking the game a bit more, it meant that they were leaving spaces in behind. And against this current Chelsea team, with Hazard in amazing form, you're going to be taking them L's. They are going to be coming for you. And it's natural that the second goal did come from Eden Hazard. Now, even before that, I need to comment quickly. Willian did annoy me with a simple pass he should have played to Hazard before the second goal did come. It felt like he didn't have that confidence to play the outside of the foot pass to Hazard, who was through on goal. As the game was going on, Willian's performance was going down, and I kind of felt that maybe it was down to him being tired. And it makes sense, and it's no surprise why Sarri is rotating a lot more, because these players do need to be fully fit. But getting back to things, of course, Hazard was the one to win the free kick for the second goal. And I always find our set pieces actually really exciting to see now. You guys, you should know this by now. I'm always saying it. Sarri really works a lot on set pieces in training. And what he likes to do is he likes to set different set piece patterns to code. So, for example, you might see Willian tapping his head or putting his hand up or doing some next thing, I don't know. And anyway, the players then know what type of set piece they will be taking. And for that second goal, I just felt confident that we were going to get something. Of course, Giroud winning that far post header and Ross Barkley being in position. And, it was good to see that Ross Barkley finally got a goal for us. And I think his performance, he definitely developed the confidence as the game was going on. Having more space helped him a lot too. And I kind of think that, I might sound a bit harsh, but this is the type of standard performance we should be seeing from Ross Barkley more regularly. Especially when the players are behind him. Sarri's got so much confidence in him as well. And to be honest, over the past few games, the games against Liverpool he wasn't great in. But other games he has been decent in, like PAOK. And we're starting to see a bit more consistency with those decent performances. So hopefully it could look like things might be turning for Ross Barkley. We'll have to see. But he's definitely going to feel much more confident now as the game does go on. He does understand his role tactically, but with him, it's more been the end product and obviously influencing the game. So it'll be interesting to see if he does step up. And so it is going to be interesting to see if he does step up. But again, this is good for him. Again, if you're Kovacic, you might have to wake up a bit too. No one can take their position for granted today. And it's going to be interesting to see. Of course, being 2-0 down, it seemed to be a turning point for Southampton. They're a bit more gung-ho. Going forward way more, becoming much more dirtier, fouling a lot more, getting a lot of yellow cards. I think they picked up 6 bookings in this game, so the team will be getting fined for that. And there were some really nasty challenges as well. Obviously when guys were subbed on like Kovacic or Ross Barkley and MORATA coming on as well. Kova sustained a pretty reckless tackle from Ings, so that wasn't too great to see. But Southampton still had that threat, and we couldn't afford to become too complacent. But as I was saying before, when you leave space in behind, especially in the middle, you're only going to damage yourself. And really, as the game was going on, it should have been more than the 3-0 score was at the end. Now MORATA does come on, and I think in the context for this game, it was perfect for him. And I've made this point before, and Sarri himself has made this point as well. But depending on the context of the opponent, we're going to need the attributes of MORATA or the attributes of Giroud. Now, with Giroud playing more as a poacher today because we weren't really building through him, he was kind of isolated at times. He didn't have as much influence. We know that Giroud's a very static type of forward. He's a target man player. With MORATA coming on, the spaces in behind where he can run in behind. He can attack the spaces. He can drift wide. He was able to get a lot of chances created for him. Now, he had one big opportunity when it was at 2-0 to make it 3. Now, at first, I was like frustrated. I was like, come on, MORATA. How are you missing an opportunity like this? But, actually looking at the replays a few more times, I felt that he tried to overcomplicate it a bit too much by aiming for the near post instead of going for just a far post curler. But it was nice to see that he was actually thinking about what he was going to do. So I was thinking, okay, then let's see what happens as the game goes on. And of course, the goal comes from MORATA right at the end in the 93rd minute. It was actually great play down that left-hand side, the interchange between Alonso, Kovacic and Hazard. And I'm going to talk about Hazard afterwards, but again, Hazard creating that assist for MORATA. MORATA aims for the same spot this time, but he goes for a dink instead. And it's great to see that he did score. And this is what I mean. When you have spaces in behind, MORATA is going to be useful in these situations. Now, he scored 2 goals now in a row. Let's see if something is going to happen. You guys, I was saying beforehand that I think it is a good idea from Sarri to use him as a substitute to bring him on into games, because that way the spotlight is off him and he's not going to have as much pressure on him as well. And this could be the best direction to go when it comes to Alvaro Morata, so he can get that confidence back. But I need to talk about Eden Hazard for a bit. Even though Ross Barkley's performance was much better than we have seen from him, and he did play well today, of course, Hazard was the standout performer. I mean, to get the first goal, great finish, continuing in that form, winning the free kick for the second goal, and of course, getting the assist for Morata. And he was just constantly probing in this game. And really, this is why the second half was a bit frustrating at times, because we were constantly in dangerous areas in Southampton's half, but we just weren't clinical enough in the final third. And I kind of feel like this is the type of game where Hazard could have scored more if the team around him was a bit better in the final third. And I think too, this is how players like Kovacic do help, because Hazard knows that he's going to get that extra quality in the final third with him. And again, I mean, the guy's influence this season has been incredible. It has been amazing. And let's be serious, this guy's the sole reason why we are going to be title contenders this year. And it looks like Hazard could be finally having that season that we've always known he can have, but it's finally been brought out because of a fantastic manager in Mauricio Sarri. You guys, that's going to be the end for today's match review. Let's pray that Man City Liverpool is going to be a draw. You guys, I'll see you tomorrow for a 5 talking points video. I'm Nini FC. This is Blue Line TV. Signing out.